Welcome back to Solution Education. In this video contain NISM-VA Mutual Fund Distributors Certification Exam Mock Test Chapter Wise. In this video, I am providing Chapter 2 Concept and Role of a Mutual Fund. 40 MCQs. These MCQs helpful to your exam preparation. Which of the following best explains why mutual funds are considered a pass-through vehicle for investors? Options are, and correct answer is option C. Mutual funds pass on both risk and returns to investors without guaranteeing profits. Why do mutual funds generally trade at a discount to their NAV in the secondary market? Options are and answer is option D. Buyers in the secondary market have multiple investment options, giving them better bargaining power. What happens if a close-ended fund does not get listed on a stock exchange? Options are, and correct answer is A. Investors cannot redeem their units before maturity. A mutual fund scheme with an investment objective of high liquidity would most likely invest in. Options are, and now correct answer is C. Overnight securities with a maturity of one business day. Why do mutual funds need to mark to market MTM their holdings daily? Options are, and correct answer is option B, to adjust the NAV based on the latest market prices of securities in the portfolio. What is the key difference between an index fund and actively managed fund? Options are, and correct answer is C. Index fund replicate a market index, whereas actively managed funds attempt to outperform the market. Which of the following mutual fund features is most beneficial to an investor looking for tax deferral? Options are, and the correct answer is option D, growth option. A mutual fund scheme aims to invest in companies undergoing business transformations and industry shifts. Which investment strategy does it follow? And correct answer is B, contra investing. A mutual fund investor wants a scheme where the portfolio concentration is limited to a maximum of 30 stocks. Which scheme should they choose? And the correct answer is C, focused fund. If a mutual fund primarily invests in A+ and above rated corporate bonds, it falls under which category? And the correct answer is B, corporate bond fund. Which type of mutual fund provides the lowest risk and highest liquidity for investors? And the correct answer is C, overnight fund. What is the primary objective of a multi-asset allocation fund? Options are, and correct answer is B, to invest in at least 3 different asset classes with a minimum 10% allocation. Which of the following factors directly affects the NAV of a mutual fund? Options are, and the correct answer is C. Change in the value of the securities held in the portfolio. Why do exchange traded funds generally have lower expense ratio than actively managed funds? Options are, and the correct answer is B. They passively track an index requiring minimal fund management. If an investor in a closed-ended fund wants to exit before maturity, how can they do so? Options are, and answer is C. By selling their units on a stock exchange at the prevailing market price. What differentiates an arbitrage fund from other hybrid funds? Options are, and the correct answer is B. It earns returns by exploiting price differences between cash and derivative markets. And concentrative investor prioritizing steady income and minimal risk should invest in. Answer is C. Banking and PSU debt fund. Which SEBI regulation was introduced to standardize mutual fund scheme categories and avoid investor confusion? Options are, and the correct answer is B. SEBI categorization and rationalization of mutual fund scheme 2017. Which type of fund offers exposures to commercial real estate assets? Options are, and the correct answer is D. Real estate investment trust REITs. If an investor wants a tax saving mutual fund with a mandatory lock in of 3 years, they should invest in. And the correct answer is C. Equity linked saving schemes ELSS. Which of the following is a key reason why mutual fund helps in economic development? Options are, and the correct answer is option B. Mutual funds mobilize retail savings which are then invested in securities that helps businesses grow. If a mutual fund scheme has a high asset under management AUM, what impact does it have on expense ratios? Options are, and the correct answer is C. Higher AUM leads to lower expense ratios as costs are spread across a larger pool of assets. An investor selects a mutual fund scheme where a significant portion of the portfolio is invested in companies with strong environmental and ethical policies. Which investment strategy is being followed? And the correct answer is ESG investing. If an investor redeems units from a mutual fund scheme, what impact does it have on the NAV of the scheme? And the correct answer is option A. NAV decreases as redeemed units reduce the overall asset base. What differentiates a mutual fund of funds from other mutual fund schemes? And the correct answer is B. FOF primarily invest in other mutual fund schemes instead of individual. If a mutual fund adopt the value investing strategy, it will primarily. Options are, and the correct answer is D. Invest in stocks that are currently undervalued relative. Which of the following is a disadvantage of investing in close-ended mutual funds? Options are, and the correct answer is B. Option B. Investors cannot redeem units before the scheme matures unless sold on an exchange. What happens when a mutual fund scheme declares a dividend? Options are, and the correct answer is Option C. NAV of the scheme decreased by the dividend amount. Which of the following factors can cause a sudden drop in a mutual fund's NAV? Options are, and the correct answer is option B. Decline in the market value of securities held in the fund's portfolio. Why do interval funds have periodic open-ended windows for transactions? Options are, and the correct answer is A. To allow investors an exit opportunity at regular intervals. Which of the following statements about exchange traded funds ETFs is correct? And the options are, correct answer is option C. ETFs can be bought and sold like stocks on an exchange throughout the day. What is the primary reason for the introduction of mutual fund life framework by SEBI? Options are, and the correct answer is option B. To simplify regulatory requirements for passively managed mutual fund schemes. What is the key advantage of systematic transfer plans STPs in mutual funds? Options are, and the correct answer is option A. They allow investors to move funds from one scheme to another gradually. What role does SEBI play in regulating mutual funds? Options are, and the correct answer is option C. It imposes regulations to ensure investor protection and transparency. Which type of mutual fund is best suited for an investor looking for both equity and debt exposure in a single scheme? And the correct answer is option B. Balanced hybrid fund. If an investor wants to invest in real estate through mutual funds, which scheme should they choose? Options are, and the correct answer is option C. Real estate mutual fund. Why do tax saving mutual funds ELSS have a 3-year lock-in period? Options are, and the correct answer is A. Option A. To ensure investors do not exit before long-term capital appreciation. Which of the following is not a characteristic of an actively managed mutual fund? And the correct answer is option C. It tracks a stock market index without making changes to the portfolio. Which mutual fund strategy is best suited for an investor looking to take advantage of short-term market inefficiencies? Options are, and the correct answer is A. Arbitrage fund. What is the key risk associated with credit risk funds? And the correct answer is option B. They invest in below highest rated corporation bonds, increasing default risk.